On June 8th, Google committed 3 million AI chips to Intel. At first glance, that makes very little sense. Intel's advanced packaging yield still sits below TSMC's, and Google's TPU program is one of the most technically demanding silicon operations on Earth. And yet, Google signed a production contract locked through 2028. Why? To understand the decision Google made, you need to understand the wall it hit 12 months ago. TSMC has been expanding CoWoS capacity at roughly 80% compound annual growth, from 35,000 wafers per month in late 2024 to projected 130,000 by the end of 2026. Nearly 4 times the capacity in 2 years. On paper, the solution was pretty simple. Wait for TSMC to expand. But that solution collapsed the moment anyone looked at the allocation numbers. NVIDIA locked an estimated 60 to 70% of CoWoS output for 2025 and 2026, not through negotiation, but by committing earliest, paying highest, and anchoring an entire packaging line years before AI infrastructure boom. Broadcom and AMD absorbed most of what remained. Between the three of them, roughly 86% of global CoWoS output was already spoken for, before Google, Meta, or Amazon had placed a single order for their custom silicon programs. Google's infrastructure team ran a model for their 2026 TPU production plan. The number that came back was the same every time. Not enough. I spent nearly a decade inside semiconductor industry, from fabs to the labs of leading AI chip company. And here's what nobody reported what happened next. In December 2025, Google quietly cuts its 2026 TPU production target by 1 million units. But here's what the TPU production cut actually meant. The data centers had already been planned. The capacity contracts had already been signed. The budgets were already approved. So Google canceled those chips not because demand disappeared, but literally there was no advanced chip packaging slot to build them in. And that is the exact moment Intel became the only serious option. But the most strange part is that Intel had their own problems. At this point, the story looks simple. Google couldn't get CoWoS. Intel had spare capacity, so problem solved. But in reality, it wasn't. Because the packaging capacity was the only big issue, NVIDIA would be making the same move, isn't it? But NVIDIA still chose TSMC. Why? Because the answer isn't that Google is settled. It's that Google's chip was uniquely suited for packaging technology that nobody else at this scale could fully use. And that distinction is buried in how TPU is designed. At this level, the financial coverage can never reach. CoWoS places full silicon interposer beneath every die in the package. One foundation, routing every compute die to every memory stack to every I/O path simultaneously at full bandwidth. Think of it as paving the entire city with one interconnected highway, because the traffic can come from anywhere at any moment. Intel's EMIB places small silicon bridges, each few millimeters, only at the specific die-to-die interfaces that need high bandwidth connections. Bridges go exactly where Intel places them and nowhere else. For NVIDIA's latest H200 GPU, that's a serious constraint. A GPU is a general-purpose graphical processing unit. Every nanosecond, software decides which memory stack is accessed, which routing path carries the signal, patterns that change with every model and every workload. The traffic map does not exist when the chip leaves the fab. Google's TPU is an ASIC, application-specific integrated circuit. So before the chip is manufactured, Google's architects define every data flow path. They know exactly which die communicates with which memory interface, at what bandwidth, through which route. The complete traffic map is drawn at the chip tape-out, when chip goes from design house to the foundry. One chip runs on every known map. The other wakes up every morning to a different city. That difference sounds subtle, but it is the entire reason this Google-Intel deal exists. When you have pre-drawn every route, EMIB bridges go exactly where your architecture needs them. When your routes are determined at the runtime by software that changes with every workload, a bridge placed at the design time is a bet. And at $30,000 to $40,000 per fabricated die, losing that bet doesn't cut your margins, it eliminates your supply. And here is the part most coverage miss entirely about the deal Google actually signed. There is one number hanging over this entire story: 8%. Intel's advanced packaging yields are estimated around 90%. TSMC's are estimated around 98%. That may sound like a small gap, But in reality, it's one of the most hardest gaps in semiconductor manufacturing to close. Because getting the yield from 0 to 90 means solving the known problems. Getting from 90 to 98 means finding the problems you don't even know exist yet. These 8% are highly relevant. Say you build 100,000 AI accelerators. At TSMC's yield, 2,000 chips fail the packaging test. But at Intel's yield, 10,000. If this kind of engineering first analysis is what you're here for, subscribe to AI Chip Insider. Let's dive deeper into the yield. Yield curves in advanced packaging are nonlinear. By 90%, a line has already eliminated every dominant failure mode. The contamination events, the thermal mismatches, the alignment errors that repeat predictably and can be found and fixed systematically. What lives between 90 and 98% are the failures that occur beyond standard process monitoring. You find them by waiting for a field failure, working backward to the root cause, running another qualification lot. That yield gap is real. What makes Google's economics work anyway is something most coverage never reached. Silicon wafers are circular. CoWoS interposers are the large rectangles. When you cut large rectangles from a circle, the curved edges waste silicon. Not from defects, not from yield failures, but from pure geometry. Based on Intel's published packaging data, CoWoS substrate utilization sits at roughly 60%. That means 40% of every expensive wafer lost to the shape of the tile. EMIB bridges tile across the wafer are like mosaic pieces, almost to the very edge. So utilization sits at roughly 90%. So TSMC built the best package, but Intel built the package that Google could actually get. And at 3 million units, the one whose economics run on a fundamentally different curve. 10 years ago, packaging was where the chips went after they were finished. Today, packaging is deciding whether those chips exist in first place. Every product you use, the assistant in your phone, the model your company deploys, the infrastructure decisions are being made in your industry right now. Depends on the packaging step being available. Google just found out what happens when the world's most important supply chain runs out of room. Whether Intel closes that yield gap before Google's 2028 contract expires, I cannot tell you, and as of June 2026, nobody knows. But it's sure that Google has decided it couldn't afford to wait for the answer. Intel doesn't need to beat TSMC everywhere. It only needs to win where everyone else is still waiting in the line. I make these videos because I see there's a real gap between what happens inside the industry and what people talk about. If this gave you any value, then please subscribe. Thank you.